Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really simple but super powerful tool that can turn those local online searches into actual booked jobs. I'm talking about location pages. We're going to get into exactly how they work and why they might just be the key to getting your phone ringing in every single town you serve. All right, let's start with a problem that I bet sounds really familiar. You're an expert at what you do, you've built a solid reputation, and your service area is pretty wide. Maybe you cover 5, 6, even 10 different towns. But when you actually look at where the calls are coming from, almost all of them are from the one town where your office is. So what gives? Why aren't the calls coming from everywhere else?
It's an incredibly frustrating spot to be in. You've got the trucks, you've got the team, you're ready to go, but for customers searching online in those other towns, you're basically a ghost. And look, this has nothing to do with how good you are at your job. It's all about digital invisibility. And that invisibility, it's costing you calls and jobs every single day.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why this whole invisibility thing happens. We'll call it Google's local blind spot. Then we'll get to the fix, a really straightforward strategy that acts like a digital signpost for your business. We'll cover what makes these signposts actually work, and then we'll tie it all together to show how this gets more jobs on your schedule. So, what is really going on here? Well, it's not that people aren't searching for you, it's that Google just isn't showing you to them. The whole problem really comes down to how search engines are reading the signals your website sends out. Let's think about your website for a sec. Your homepage. It's like a megaphone trying to shout to a huge crowd. It might list all the towns you serve, but that message gets really diluted. For any one of those towns, it's a super weak signal for Google. A location page, on the other hand, that's like a laser pointer. It sends a powerful, focused signal about one community, and it's pretty much impossible for Google to miss. And here's why that strong signal is so critical. When a customer in, say, Chesapeake searches for plumber in Chesapeake, Google's one and only job is to find the most relevant result that's as close as possible. A homepage that just kind of mentions Chesapeake in a list, well, that's nowhere near as relevant as a competitor's website that has a whole page dedicated to their plumbing services just for the folks in Chesapeake. Your homepage proves you exist, sure, but it doesn't prove you're a real local authority anywhere about your home base. So, if the big problem is sending out weak signals, how do you start sending really strong, clear ones for every single town you want to work in? You got to create those focused signals yourself, using what we're calling a digital signpost. And the answer is the location page. It's such a simple idea, but it's so powerful. You just create one unique page on your website for each specific area you serve. Seriously, think of each one like a digital signpost that you plant right in the middle of a town. It tells both customers and Google, yep, we're here, we work here, and for this community, we are the local choice. Let's make this real. Imagine an HVAC company based in Virginia Beach. They do a ton of work in Chesapeake, Norfolk, and Portsmouth, too. So instead of just listing those cities on their homepage, they build out a separate, dedicated webpage for each one. Now, when a homeowner in Norfolk is searching for furnace repair, that company's Norfolk-specific page has a real shot at showing up right at the top. Okay, now this is the part where a lot of businesses mess up. You can't just spin up 10 pages, swap out the city name on each, and then wait for the phone to ring. That trick stopped working a long, long time ago. What really matters is the quality and uniqueness of every single page. I really want this to sink in because it's the perfect test. The number one mistake people make is just copying their homepage text, changing the city name, and boom, they think they're done. No way. Google is incredibly smart. It sees that low-effort, duplicate content, and it just ignores it, which completely defeats the whole purpose, right? So here's the key takeaway. For a location page to be truly effective, to be seen as valuable by Google, a pretty big chunk of its content, we're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 60%, has got to be genuinely unique to that specific location. And what does unique content actually look like? Well, it's probably more straightforward than you think. First, the basics. Make sure the city name is in your titles and headings. Then, add some real local flavor. Talk about a job you did near a well-known park or mention a common problem that homes in that area have. And this is crucial. Add local proof. Show off reviews and photos from customers in that specific town. That proves to both Google and your potential customers that you're the real deal there. Let's be really clear about what's at stake here. These aren't just little technical mistakes. Duplicate or thin content, that gets you ignored by Google, period. And no local proof, no real reviews, no job site photos, that makes customers hesitate. They see a generic page and they think, do these guys actually work around here? Avoiding these pitfalls is literally the difference between a page that brings in jobs and a page that's just dead weight. All right, so we've covered the why and the how. Now let's connect all these dots to the one result that actually matters: getting more calls and booking more jobs.
It's a really simple and direct path. Every high-quality location page you create is another one of those digital signposts. More signposts mean more visibility when customers are searching. More visibility leads to clicks from people who are actually looking for what you do in their neighborhood. Those relevant clicks turn into phone calls from great leads. And more calls, well, that leads directly to more jobs on the schedule. It's that simple.
At the end of the day, this strategy is about more than just SEO or rankings. It's about changing how your business is seen online, period. You stop being the best kept secret in 4 out of the 5 towns you serve, and you start showing up as the clear, obvious, and trustworthy local choice everywhere you want to work. Hey, if this breakdown was helpful for you, make sure you subscribe for more practical tips just like this, all designed to help your service business grow. We're all about tactics that make a real difference to your bottom line. And remember, the goal here is pretty simple: get more visibility and book more jobs in all your service areas. If you'd rather have a team of experts handle all this for you, Proper Marketers specializes in doing exactly that for service businesses. Thanks so much for watching.